All right, Saturday is over with. Let's move on to Sunday.
You were talking about ugly games.
Man, all of these are pretty ugly, but I do think the best game of the weekend
Oh
is on
yeah, yeah.
Sunday
About
too.
you were talking earlier. I'm like, I feel like we're gonna have about two ugly games sandwiched
Yeah.
into a damn classic.
So we got the Eagles going to Tampa. They're 8.5 point underdogs are the Eagles. Weather's supposed to be pretty ugly in Tampa. A lot of rain, like 70% rain. I don't know who that favors. I know that Philly likes to run the ball. They're going to have all their running backs active for this weekend. I don't think anyone's going to pop for COVID the rest of the way. Like, I think the rest of the playoffs, I think they're going to do something shady with the testing.
Jalen Mills just got it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, so much for that take.
Yeah. I know it's Jalen Mills, but nevertheless.
I mean, that guy is the walking double move. But, all right, I guess not. But I kind of felt like some of the teams that had playoff implications, like no one really popped for COVID, and I think now with the playoffs, maybe they would kind of just like, you'll
We'll
be
see.
all right kind of thing. We'll see. But they got all their running backs back. That's Philly, but you can't really run the ball on Tampa Bay.
Tampa's actually fallen off a bit as a run defense, and that's a big reason because Levante David's been injured. If Levante David, who I think should be back, but if he's not playing, it's a problem because Devin White, as good as he is, he's not very disciplined. He could lose his gap discipline. Like, it's just they need Levante David. I think he's the heart and soul of that defense. So getting him back and then also getting, at a very opportune time, playoff Lenny.
Playoff
Supposed to be
Lenny
coming off IR.
got activated, yeah.
And if it's raining, he might need 15, 20 carries. You better get playoff Lenny going.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. These two teams played earlier in the year.
Weird Thursday night game.
Weird Thursday night game. Like,
Zach Ertz's last ever game in Philly.
oh yeah, that's right. Because then he got traded.
The next day.
The next day, yeah. So Jalen Hurts scored 2 touchdowns on 10 carries in that game. Jalen Hurts has led the Eagles 3-0, 27 points per game, 236 yards per game passing over the last 3. They're kind of hot coming into the playoffs. What's the statistic? They have no wins over a playoff team or a winning team? I think
Playoff team because they beat New Orleans, which pretty much got them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
New Orleans is a winning team.
yeah.
Even though, boy, I would much rather want New Orleans in the spot, especially given the history they have with Tampa Bay.
Word.
I feel like New Orleans could have really given them a game.
I mean, they always have, right?
Yeah.
1-3 against Brady in the regular season, and then the one win that Brady has is
Playoffs.
in the playoffs. Now, here's the thing that I find fascinating about this one. Do you think that with these injuries and, the AB stuff and the lack of weapons on the outside, I feel like Darius Slay has played pretty well this year. He's had a bounce back because I
Yeah.
remember we were excited when he got to Philly, and then it was like, man, what happened to the Slay on Detroit? He would have some moments.
That
but-
whole Philly team was a mess. Last
yeah.
year.
And then this year he kind of bounced back and he shut down a lot of receivers. And I feel like Mike Evans, he's very consistent. He don't really do it for me, Mike Evans. Like, I feel like he's not really like a separator.
No, he's not. He just bullies people.
Bully
and he
ball,
does a
right?
fantastic job at it.
So you're a Mike Evans guy.
How can you not be a Mike Evans guy? First off, he's just the ultimate team player. Everyone loves Mike Evans, and he just knows how to use his size better than, I think, besides Nuke Hopkins, pretty much better than any receiver in the league. Like, Mike Evans knows how to use his body, and just so happens he has the GOAT throwing to him that knows where to place the ball. And look, Mike Evans' catch radius is absurd. Like, that touchdown against, I think it was Buffalo, probably one of the craziest touchdowns of the year. Brady threw that flamethrower on a deep corner. So
Yeah, the body adjustment too was
yeah.
sick.
So I could see Slay giving him problems, but the thing is, like, Philly's defense is so weak. Like, I always talk about it. In the middle of the field, you could just carve them up.
Gronk, baby.
It's gonna be a big
Incentive
Gronk day.
Gronk.
Perriman's coming on for them. Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller came through in garbage time. Like, they still got options. Like, I know it's definitely not the same as a huge talent downgrade, but I still expect
It should be enough to
efficient.
get him by Philly.
Yeah, I just think Philly is very weak across the middle. Like, Philly pretty much is Slay and Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave. Vontae Max is decent, but like, it's just their defense gets carved up very easily. And it's just when you have bad linebackers, Brady's he's gonna see that boom right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like Brady knows that too, and he knows where to attack. Like, he's the perfect quarterback. Like, no one takes advantage of your weaknesses more than he does.
Right. And I feel like Todd Bowles going to crank up the blitzes on the other side, and that could give Hurts fits. I just think, look, Philly had their time. You know, it was a huge season for them progress-wise. They had 3 first-round picks. There's a lot to be excited about for the future. But so you're going against defending champs in that environment. It's just the only thing I could say is just they could be able to maybe run the ball a little bit. Maybe Devontae Smith, who I think is a stud. I really do love me. So I think already becoming a big-time route runner and someone that could, want to create separation. He could create separation. Well, it's just a matter of he's got to get the ball.
Yeah.
So I think Philly, they could score some points, but ultimately, this is Tampa's game to lose. They're just a far better team.
Yeah, and I think knowing that they played them earlier in the year, and even when they were up big, they kind of took their foot off the gas pedal, and then Philly came back, made a late charge. I think Tampa Bay knows that, and now Tampa Bay, it's we're going to step on your throat. Mm-hmm. And I think they try to make Jalen Hurts beat him with his arm, right? That would be the best approach to stopping Philly and stopping Hurts. I think Dallas Goedert is interesting. Smith also. He seems to like Quez Watkins.
Decent speedster.
Yeah, it can take the top off the defense, but also has the dropsies too.
Right.
I can't get out of my head that the Giants beat this team. It upsets me that the Giants beat the Eagles.
Hurts has those games.
Yeah.
Where it's just.
Oh, when it's bad for Hurts, it hurts.
Yeah.
Right? It's really bad for him. Right. And look, I'm going to stand by it. I think he's a dude that's very productive on the ground, and he's an amazing fantasy quarterback. But, he's put up 20-point fantasy games where he's thrown 120 yards passing, but he scores 2 touchdowns.
The rush yards help.
So that's why I feel like he's a better fantasy quarterback than he is a real, actual quarterback. Yeah. I think it's going to be too much. I think Tampa Bay wins rather comfortably also.
Same here. I feel like this is the second most black game.